Hi Sagittarius, welcome into your monthly money and career tarot reading for the month of March 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, but as we proceed, do keep in mind this is general for your month, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I more than appreciate the love and support, the likes, the comments, and of course subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't joined the Sagittarian tribe already, I'm already getting you're being viewed as a star, and I'm now hearing a star in the making. But as you can see, I did pre-pull 2 small money and career oracles to speak upon your month, and then 3 Tarot of Dreams cards to begin the layered spread, and then we'll naturally further pull to speak upon your month. But before we do so, the overall message I channeled for you for, of course, your money and career for March, you got incredible abundance, succeeding beyond all expectations. Incredible abundance, succeeding beyond all expectations. Beautiful. So it feels like a very powerful, successful kind of month for you, but let's jump right into the oracle. We're beginning with claiming your victory. Beautiful. It just feels like this is a month for you, Sag, where you're claiming levels of victory due to past efforts paying off for oneself. It feels like your hardworking nature and your hardworking nature throughout the month as a whole starts to show you evidence of the fact that you're meant to be victorious within whatever you wrap yourself up with career-wise. And even I want to say when it comes to your finances, but it feels like if you made a change in your career or when it comes to a financial investment or two, it could be both, right? You're seeing evidence throughout March at certain points that you made the right choice. Even if at times you second guess it or you're just still a little bit perplexed as to why something happened. Could have been a change that felt out of your control, but it's this these clear moments throughout the month showing you evidence once again that that choice or that decision, that change or changes were very much purposeful and meant to be. And it just feels like I'm seeing the 6 of Wands in my mind's eye, which is all about victory, right? And gaining attention. I do feel as if there could be levels of spotlight victory, success taking place for you throughout the month, all right? But we're moving on to financial stability. So it's a month where you're finding oneself focusing at times on your financial stability. I do feel like there's reminders that you're meant to have this financial stability moving forward. But I do feel like you could be potentially waiting for an ending, waiting for another change. You could be feeling that things aren't perfect for you and therefore you can't help but it's a very 2 of Wands vibe. Think about what you lack or what you wish to acquire more so of. In Spirit saying try to discard that lack mindset, right? And embrace the optimistic, positive, focus on what I have kind of mindset, right? Noticing, acknowledging, and staying grateful for that abundance all the meanwhile. Although this is a very positive and successful month overall, I am getting the message of some Sagittarius drawn to the reading, there being a highlight on you working with and or living with one if not multiple people that you're not fond of, right? Could be their energy, the way they do something, living wise or just work wise. It could be more so for some of you, the way a work location is run. Or just how somebody's keeping up with the living situation. Does this make sense? It obviously could be more than one thing for you or more than one person, but it feels like that may be at times pushing you to focus on the imperfections. And so therefore try to do your best to kind of check oneself and slip away from that and slip again into that optimistic, I'm noticing the abundance state of mind and way of approaching things, all right? But moving on to the tarot, we have the 7 of Coins. Now it's this feeling that you're watering what's meant to be, what needs to get done. For some of you, what you feel is meant to bring you true levels of spotlight victory or just victory in general moving forward. But again, you're seeing evidence of that victory and your hard work paying off throughout this month in general. It's this feeling that you may have to dip into your savings at a certain point throughout the month for certain necessities. It could be a small hiccup or change that you don't expect. It could be that you don't get to access certain funds right off the bat, right? Whether it's towards the end of the month, so therefore you dip into your savings in the beginning, or it just could be more so that something's delayed as far as you accessing that money or that money coming in, coming back to you. They're saying from the universe or the company in the upcoming month or two. All right. So Spirit's saying don't allow for that to discourage you. But it does feel like there is, again, a reminder you're meant for financial stability moving forward, regardless of what ups and downs you've experienced, regardless of what you're dealing with at this time, and regardless of the fluctuation of your money throughout the specific month and surrounding it. Okay. But it does feel like something you've been watering, working on. Could be a business, a project, a job situation. Something's growing and prospering, watering for you. It's bringing you financial gain, but it's also bringing you, again, levels of growth and progress. I feel like for some, numbers are going up and you're being viewed in the eyes of, I want to say, your coworkers. It could be more so people online. It could be authority figures or one in particular, as very, very knowledgeable, wise, and successful. And somebody who, even when they don't feel like getting the job done, will just simply do it, right? And I feel like your caring nature is coming into play. Even when you feel like some people don't notice that you care, or they're saying give a damn, you will find that someone actually does notice that, okay? Or multiple people. But we're moving on to the Four of Wands. Beautiful. I automatically got, when this card came out in the pre-shuffling, that for some Sages a door is opening, and this might entail a door closing to lead you towards this opening of a door for you, right? An opportunity per se. But for some of which it's just either a door opening or simply a door closing moving forward, all right? And I feel like you're anticipating whatever this is for you. For some, it does feel like this door opening and or closing is for the future, right? And so there's thoughts, action towards it, anticipation, potentially daydreaming of which, about it. But I do feel like for some Sagittarius drawn to the reading, this is meant to take place throughout March, and that's going to feel so damn relieving and rewarding all the meanwhile. It feels like things are falling into place for you, even if you can't see full evidence of that 24/7. There's a need for you to remember that, remember certain moments that showed you recently or throughout the month that things are falling into place for you, so that when you don't fully feel like it, you can just kind of bounce back in your memory and your thoughts, your focus on that, and just be like, okay, things aren't perfect right now. Things aren't absolutely ideal, or I just am so caught up in all of the work and I'm not seeing every single ounce of results that I wish in the moment. But they're saying, or this week in particular. So there could be one week where you're not seeing as many results as the other weeks, but you get the point. So just try to remember those moments when you don't feel things are completely ideal, or you're not gaining as much as you'd like. Or things aren't working out exactly perfect in the work environment and or at home. But I do feel like there are certain moments in the month where your passion is just ignited. It could be for something you're continuing where you might have felt that fizzled recently, or over time it might feel like it's just a continuation and you just feel a newfound sense of passion, even more so for whatever it is you're working on, continuing, seeing successful for oneself over time. But let's move on to the third card, where we have the Seven of Cups. I'm sorry, I almost said Six of Cups. So yeah, memories, thoughts of the past, nostalgic moments. You might even find that where you're working and or living brings you back a moment or an item, or an occurrence brings you back to a moment from your past job and or living situations. And it feels like this could make you feel a little bit off in the moment, but there's a purpose to it. Feels like it's a spirit, if not multiple, at work. But the Seven of Cups talking about, if this is a door to open for you in the future, you have a lot of options, right? If this is more so in regards to all that you have to accomplish, I feel like that's the case either way. You will get it done when you're meant to, and it feels like a very efficient way that you're able to accomplish and do what you have to do when you need to do it. Therefore, in the eyes of some people of importance, or even people that don't need to be viewing you in any sort of way, right? They just are viewing you as very mature, reliable, understanding. So I feel like there's certain bonding moments at work and or at home, especially at work for a lot drawn to the reading, where this plays a key role in the future of your time within that company, right? Or that specific department. I do feel like word of mouth is taking place. I honestly feel like some of you will be a Sag moving forward where a lot of people will start to know your name, right? The word of this specific Sag will start to spread. Now, if that's not for you, so be it, but it just feels like either way, your hard work's paying off once again, even when you don't feel like it, or you're not feeling very, as if things are perfectly set up for you to succeed. You accomplish what you need to. There's a sense of you having a priority list, a to-do list, multiple, even if that's just in your head, and checking things off. On to the next, on to the next. I'm a Sag, I'll get it done, right? And there will be no shortage of passion, even if I'm not in the mood, period. And it feels like you're heading towards, step by step, towards this financial stability and career success all the meanwhile. Let's continue pulling. We also have the Four of Coins, beautiful. So it feels like all the meanwhile, there's a focus on your savings, on where you feel you actually have control when it comes to your career and finances. And Spirit saying, okay, the control and lack thereof which that you feel at times when it comes to your money. It's that sort of need for you, and at times being very good at having that ebb and flow, right? Allowing the release of which for spending, for changes, bills, and then expecting the universe to replenish you, right? Tenfold moving forward, or just at least when you need it the most. But I do feel like all the meanwhile that does stress you out a little bit, or a lot of it for some, drawn to the reading, if you're being completely honest. But when it comes to your career, there's a sense of you noticing whether you're working from home, working from a business office location for oneself for your business, or it could be obviously within a company, if not multiple. Noticing and needing to remember whether it's what's out of your control, right? And what's within your control to make your way through your workday very efficiently, to not, lose your cool, or just not affect your overall well-being negatively by focusing on those imperfections once again, or just maybe needing to adapt or just delay something to when it's more doable. Does that make sense? It could be noise factors, people who you're working with energy-wise. I do feel like whether it's people, certain occurrences like noise and whatnot, a change in your schedule, could be something added to your plate. It feels like not everything is obviously in your control when you're working, regardless of where it is for you. So allow for oneself to remember that you need to just take a deep breath, tap into your innate ability to adapt and flow with how things are meant to get done, or how they're going to get done, and then you'll be successful in the end. But it just also feels like a very Four of Cups vibe, where you're being reminded who and what's not meant for you, past situations, past people, investments. It could be more so in regards to who to steer clear of, or minimize your association with at work and or at home, to protect your energy, your well-being, and just therefore the quality of your work in the end, right? Because we'd be dishonest with oneself if we didn't admit that that can affect the quality of your work, right? Regardless of how strong and how bold and passionate and how efficient you are with your work, right? But we're moving on to the, let's see here. Okay, a few negative cards. So there could be some negatives popping up throughout the month. But we do have the Ace of Swords, but I'm not going to take it. Bear with me. They're telling me to shuffle. Okay. Flying out. Ooh, the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like there is a little bit of an emotional way about the way you move throughout the month, when you need to accomplish, when you manage your money. But Spirit's saying, all the meanwhile, there is needing to be a highlight on the fact that you are a little bit guarded, whether it's valid or not. In could be multiple situations, but I do feel like there's a vibe about this where if you look at that imagery, you just feel like protecting the future of your finances, whether it's due to past slip-ups, mistreating, loss. It could have been, they're saying a scam. I do feel like however it works for you, I do feel as if you just have this intention to just keep your finances within your control, all right? And especially when you feel like certain other factors in your life aren't within your control, there's gonna be moments like that with your finances, with cleaning up your home life or your work environment, where you're trying to, without even meaning to or noticing, trying to find ways to feel more in control, because that feels like something you do desire wholeheartedly. But touching base upon the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups, we have the Nine of Cups, talking about how you are very independent and victorious, all right? Kind of a Nine of Pentacles vibe as well. But if you look around this odd man here, there's lots of grapes, cups naturally. And so it feels like there's levels of fulfillment throughout the month that need to be acknowledged by you and others as well, right? Needing to get the praise and compliments that you truly deserve for a hard work being being accomplished, right? For doing what you do and doing it well, for being very talented and not giving up even despite the odds at times, or just the obstacles, I want to say, right? And they're saying the naysayers for some, but the grapes talking about the fruits of your labor and how things are paying off for you, working out in your favor. And it's up to you to, again, even in times when you slip towards focusing on the negatives or just the annoyances, or the setbacks, I want to say, bring your focus towards those grapes, okay? The fruits of your Sagittarian labor. And again, your hard work paying off. But going back to the overall message, it's like this month shows you true evidence that you are receiving and experiencing true levels of incredible abundance, all right? And it just feels like you need to be one with the fact that there's more of that on the horizon for oneself. But I do feel like with the Six of Swords here, there might be moments throughout the remainder of the month where you need to step away from the work environment, your work in general. It could be to step away from your home situation. Now that's going to differ from case to case, whether it's because of the energy, because you just maybe got in your own head, or you just aren't finding it easy to accomplish whatever it is for you, or not feeling very comfortable. Does this make sense? It obviously could be more than one thing, but Spirit's saying when that takes place, be honest with oneself, take a step back, go for a walk, or just go to a place of comfort, a sanctuary, go get a bite to eat or a coffee. I just feel like you know best at this point where to go or what to acquire, what to do in order to come back in better energy, or just to come back when it's easier to do what you need to do, right? But the Ten of Coins, beautiful to top off this pyramid, because I really do feel as if it's I almost said the remainder. So mainly in the second half of the month, and we'll obviously do a mid-month reading for you at some point. But the month as a whole, March, shows you evidence that, again, you deserve this financial stability, this Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles lifestyle. It feels like you're being pushed to recognize and remember that there is a lot of financial success for you ahead, but it's not the only way you're meant to succeed, right? Spirit's also saying when you do what makes you passionate and peaceful all the meanwhile, naturally, I feel like for a lot drawn to the reading, all the meanwhile helping people, the success financially is just going to follow. Period. All right. And I feel like there are certain moments throughout the month where you do need to reground oneself, kind of going back to that Six of Swords vibe that we were just speaking upon. But it just feels like it's a month where there's a lot coming towards you, needing to protect your energy. But look at that. The Nine of Wands. Okay, feeling a bit depleted. All right. A bit of a wounded warrior vibe. But I do feel like it's because you deal with a lot. You have a lot on your plate. But the Seven of Wands, once again, talking about how you do need to protect your energy, and you have a lot coming towards you responsibility-wise, work-wise, bill-wise, I want to say, right, for your finances. And I want to say even other people looking to you for advice, just to update you. So it can feel a little bit all over the place and a bit overwhelming at times. But if anybody can handle it, it's you, all right? I just heard when a Leo comes to mind, you'll understand that. All right, you'll understand why. There's a significance to that. Anyways, that's the side message, but I do feel like this is an overall very successful, busy month for you, where you're being, again, reminded there's a lot of financial stability ahead for you. There's true levels of victory to be claimed for you, even though things do feel a little bit up and down at times. But it's a month where you're being reminded through this incredible abundance on a multitude of levels, you're succeeding beyond everybody's expectations, including yours, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your month, and I'll see you next time.